Oh, honey, you've messed up big time. Investigative YouTuber MegaLag dropped this video last week exposing the coupon browser extension's shady behavior toward their creator partners and even their customers. And boy, it is some crazy and illegal stuff. Hey, I'm America's attorney. I've been a lawyer for over 23 years. I've helped over 20,000 clients. And I'm one of the lawyers behind this lawsuit against Honey for the apparent scams that they've committed against creators. Join me while I break down the allegations in MegaLag's video and how Honey's biggest scam is perfectly legal. And while they will never have to pay, the millions of customers that they've allegedly snookered won't have to pay him 1 red cent. And we'll also get into the claims in my law firm's lawsuit against PayPal Honey. We'll start with MegaLag's video. In just 23 minutes, the creator known as MegaLag exposed how Honey has been scamming both creators and consumers out of a lot of money. We'll start with consumers, which is most likely what you, my dearest sweet viewer, are. Honey's whole shtick is that they find you the best coupons available for your purchase. No more manual searching, you're getting the best deal on the internet, blah, 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 bleep. But in his viral video, MegaLag reveals that companies who partner with Honey are able to decide what coupons are on the Honey platform, if any. So to put it in an example, if Target partnered with Honey and they have 2 coupons out right now for a coffee maker, one 50% off and one 35% off, they could tell Honey only to display the 35% off coupon to Honey users. So I guess you're getting the best deal out there should probably be rephrased to you're getting the best deal the brand wants you to get. And this would explain why, through his investigation, MegaLag was able to find better coupons by manually searching. As bad as that is, wait until you hear about their grift on creators. Oh, sorry. Wow. Alleged grift. According to MegaLag's video, if consumers click on an affiliate link from their favorite creator, or any creator really, an action that would normally earn said creator a commission, Honey is hijacking the cookie that attributes the sale towards the creator with their own affiliate cookie. So if at the checkout page you've clicked apply discounts, activate rewards, or even got it, the creator's affiliate code was replaced with Honey's, and they received a commission on the sale. Your creator gets nothing. Now, in his video, MegaLag called this practice fraud.
I can't see how it's anything short of fraud.
That's his word. Just want to let it hang out in the air for a minute.
Fraud.
I would say I'm inclined to agree, especially after my law firm and Legal Eagle filed this lawsuit on behalf of Windover Productions, the company behind the YouTube channel Windover Productions, Half as Interesting, and Jetlag the Game, and Businessing, the company behind Ali Spagnola. These are 2 creator companies who partner with different brands with affiliate links, only to have Honey snipe some of their commissions, allegedly. Now, this lawsuit contains only 2 claims: intentional interference with contractual relations and intentional interference with prospective economic relations. We'll start with the interference in contractual relations first. When 2 parties to a contract, even if it's a verbal contract and not a written agreement, are seeking to conduct business together, it's unlawful for a third party to interfere in the relationship to the point that their interference either frustrates the contract or deprives one of the parties of the value that they would have received under the contract. It's hard to believe you wouldn't understand how Honey is allegedly doing that in the current situation, but on the off chance that you just really like metaphors, imagine that I sell apples for $20 a bucket, which I do. If you sign a contract with me to buy 5 buckets of apples on Sunday, then I'm expecting $100 from our deal. If my neighbor catches wind of our deal and Sunday morning he camps out at the end of my driveway with 5 buckets of his apples and he sells them to you, in gross, my neighbor has effectively stolen $100 from me and interfered with my contractual expectancy from you. The lawsuit itself states, defendant's conduct prevented performance of plaintiffs of their contractual obligations or made performance more expensive or difficult. Defendant intended to disrupt the plaintiff's performance of their contracts or knew that their actions made performance more expensive or difficult or impossible. Defendant's interference harmed plaintiffs and members of the putative class by artificially and negatively skewing the data regarding customer acquisition via affiliate links, causing members of the putative class to appear to merchant partners to underperform relative to actual customer acquisitions. That's a mouthful, but that's what lawsuits are like. Now, the second claim in the lawsuit is interference with prospective economic relations. Let's go back to the analogy of the bucket of apples, because, you know, an analogy of apples a day keeps the doctor away. Now, let's say that instead of you and I having a contract for the purchase of apples, I just have an Apple store that's open to the public. We'll call it, An orchard? This claim represents my neighbor who comes and camps out at the end of my driveway and sells you his apples out of his bucket instead of mine from my orchard while standing in my driveway. He hasn't caused you to breach a contract that you have with me, like one that you already made, but he certainly interfered with the relationship that you and I thought we were going to have by virtue of me having an open to the public apple store. Orchard. As the lawsuit explains, plaintiffs had economic relationships with merchants that probably would have resulted in economic benefits to plaintiffs. Defendants' conduct as described above of removing plaintiffs' affiliate links and replacing with their own affiliate links after plaintiffs directed consumers to merchants' checkout pages was wrongful. By engaging in this conduct, defendants intended to disrupt the relationships and or knew that the disruption of the relationship was certain or substantially certain to occur. You may be thinking,
Josh, you jumped way too far ahead. We'll walk it back for a second. What about the consumers here?
and that's where things get a bit tricky. If Honey's value proposition is that it gets you the best discount every time, then in each instance, a customer deployed Honey for a purchase, but then received something less than the best discount due to either a side deal that Honey made with the seller or because Honey had its own code that it preferred so that it could get a kickback, then every consumer would have a claim for at least the value that they lost on that transaction. In some states, there might be claims for additional damages based on deceptive business practices. However, in the ultimate legal scam, each user who downloads the Honey browser extension has agreed to waive their right to a jury trial and agreed to proceed only in a private arbitration proceeding with an arbitrator that is paid for by Honey. In this instance, the arbitrator is basically the judge, and just to be perfectly clear, the judge would be paid to work on the case by Honey. And that's perfectly legal. But it gets worse than that because the user agreement or terms of service that Honey enforces against consumers also does not allow the consumer to participate in a class action of any kind, which means that all the claims against Honey would be individualized. Well, look, you're not going to be able to hire a lawyer for an arbitration claim for you just because you were ripped off of a $17 discount. Lawyers can only economically become involved in scams like this when they reach into the hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars of value. A class action waiver, the one that Honey users signed, is a totally legal scam under federal law to prevent consumers from coming together to be able to litigate their claims as a group. So when I tell you that Honey will never have to answer to consumers for the ways in which it has ripped them off, I mean that they have likely made tens or even hundreds of millions of dollars on the difference between the value they could have provided customers and the value they actually provided customers, at least according to MegaLag's reporting. And yet people like you and me continue to elect representatives who are happy to pass laws that continue to keep arbitration scams in full effect. And just to put a finer point on how ridiculous this is, if an individual person did this to another person, in most states it would be classified as a crime. And yet Honey will likely never answer for this aspect of their alleged scheme. But there is a potential silver lining, which is that my lawsuit contains a request for an injunction that, if granted, would prevent Honey from continuing to do just these sorts of things. I've partnered with attorney Tom and Legal Eagle and some other great class action lawyers to pursue Honey as much as we can. So yes, this video is ending on a bit of a downer note, but the story is not over yet because MegaLag has teased that his investigative video is actually a series. And based on conversations that I'm familiar with, he definitely has more to say. What bombshells do you expect him to drop in the next video? Do you think it'll be something worth suing over? Drop your pro se opinion down below in the comments and let me know what you think. And don't forget, you don't need a browser extension to lawyer up with me, America's attorney, for free by hitting that subscribe button. I'm not gonna make you sign a class action waiver. And I'll be back very soon with more videos, and you don't wanna miss it. I don't want you to miss it, so I will see you there. If an individual... Now, the slots... I'm consolidating all my errors into one place right now.